How do I motivate my sales team? Well, the bigger question is really, how do I motivate them and keep them motivated? Part of the compensation program for every salesperson, I think, should be based on performance. And salespeople want it that way. They want to have the upside. They want to have the opportunity to make more money. Having salespeople that aren't motivated by money can be a problem. Why? Because sales is really the only profession where there's constant rejection. But it's not just the money, it's the desire to be winning and be willing to accept a no, to be able to set aside the tire kickers early on and go find somebody who does want to say yes. Salespeople are never more motivated than when they first come into a job. They're looking at what you're expecting them to do and how much they can make, and they want to do 50% more. They have a vision of where they want to be. It's those that let the rejection get to them that will cause them to compromise with mediocrity. It's not just about the money. What is really going to incentivize them to be motivated? The first thing is having a vision. Where are you planning to take the company and why? People want to be part of something bigger, especially millennials and Gen Z. They want to be part of something bigger and know that they're contributing. I have a client that's a manufacturer. When they came to us, they said, we want to grow by 30%. 2.5 months into it, the owner comes to me and he says, hey, we're at 45%. How can I keep these guys motivated? And I said, we talked about your vision. What does it mean? What does it mean when they get there? Did you tell them that if they keep on going at the rate they're going in, you're going to own 50% of the US market in 3 years? And if you keep on going in 5 years, you'll be at 50% of the world market. The second thing is, what's their part? The success of the business is really equal to the individual parts from everyone, okay? And what is their contribution? Number 3, what does that mean to them? Okay, help them with what that personal impact is of their success. I have a client that sells software, and when I sat down with the two salespeople and I asked them, what's your goal? They told me the corporate goal. And I said, well, look, if successful doing that, is that enough for you? They both said no. So now their goals are higher. And then we chunked them down. That's number 4. Help them chunk it down so they know what they need to do and what the activities are that will lead to that success. And when they saw that, they believed. They believed it was successful. Number 5, coach them on what they need to do to execute the formula so they can stay consistent and don't fall behind. It's when they fall behind, when they start to realize, maybe I can't catch up, and they start to be demotivated. Number 6, track it. Track the right things, track the activities, and so that they can see that they're doing what they need to do every day. And when they do that, every day is a winning day. Number 7, celebrate. We never celebrate enough. So when they're having winning days and they're doing what they need to do, celebrate that. So what goes into a compensation plan that's successful? Number 1, it needs to make sense for the business. It needs to make financial sense. The variable cost needs to give them enough contribution margin, and the fixed cost needs to enable them to make a profit. Number 2, it needs to enable the salesperson to make a living. They have to have, if they're successful and they're doing what they need to do, then they need to be able to make a decent living on it. Number 3, it needs to motivate them. It needs to not just motivate them to be successful, it needs to motivate them to be a team player. I believe that to be successful, you need to have a team contribution. Lone wolves can get you results, but I don't think that's a sustainable process. You also might want to look at a different plan for net new business versus existing, because you don't want them to be too complacent with just getting existing business and not motivated to get enough net new. So where do you start? Well, what I usually tell clients when they start to look at compensation is go out and do some research. Talk to some people that are in similar businesses to yours. Maybe it's an industry that's similar. Maybe it's the same industry, but they're in a non-competing geography. And they have a salesperson in the role that you want to fill. And ask them, You know, how are they compensating them? Is it effective? What's the total package? And so get some feedback that way, because every industry is different. And the best resource is somebody who's in a similar business to yours.